Yeah, it was the experience a little bit different, but I really have the same impression about the people, about the league. Year by year, they'll be stronger. The people always is like, very near to you and try to do all the stuff to you feel good in the city, also in the sports hall. So the atmosphere in the sports halls is always unbelievable. You know, the championship growing up year by year. This season with Szczecin, another big team. So I really like to come here to spend my life and my passion here in the volleyball and even outside, because I feel good, comfortable here, and it's a really nice country. It's too early, you know, to say how many changements. But the first thing is good to see the same face. So like the coach, like some players, like Mateusz, even Bartek. So it's for me it's unbelievable to come back here after this long time. And yeah, the city is, I think, a little bit bigger. This Millennium Hall was not ready yet in my time. So yeah, the hall, the Halapopromi, still the same, I think, and I hope also the atmosphere will be the same. All the same here in Rzeszów, when you come to play in this team, it's to take a minimum one medal. You know, it's much better if it be a gold. The target is all the same here. You know, they do the maximum to the players, to the club, to get this target. So it's a big motivation. It's like a big challenge, and I think our team was pretty good. So we have like experienced players, old players, young talents. So a good mix, and I hope it will be an interesting championship for us. Sure. The results in the last years show that they now have this stability in his game. So they, for last 4 years, all the time takes some medals. You know, sometimes win, sometimes lose in the final or in the semi-final. So they fight like equal for doesn't matter who's in front of them. So I'm really happy because when I was in the national team, these guys really start to growing up. Like, there's some talents like Toniuti, Ngapet, even Rosar now. So like players, they're starting his adventure in the national team. And even if the staff they do a good job. Now I think to do the World Championship they will go to take a medal like all competition. For a long time they are not in the Olympic Games, so the last in Brazil they are. So happy with this, because in France you have other sports like handball, basketball, rugby and football, of course, are in front of volleyball. But I hope with the results and also with these kind of players like Ngapet and Toniuti can also talk a little bit more with volleyball, because they are really star guys. So I hope the championship and the federation growing up year by year. They looks like less professional, because you know less teams they didn't have much money to spend about, you know, and to all clubs with the staff to do this like a big club like here in Poland. But the championship also, this championship growing up year by year, we'll see like teams like all the time, Tours, Chaumont now, it's like even Paris a little bit in the past, rivalizate with the teams in the Polish league or in the Italian league. So it's a nice championship, very, very difficult because all teams is more or less in the same level. Maybe they has the less difference between the first and the last one. And but yeah, the atmosphere here in Polish looks better. The people love a little bit more. Volleyball is more popular sports, even if in the French national team now they still have good results. Here in Poland, the people appreciate a little bit more. The clubs has more. The staff was bigger, you know, the more private sponsors. So to the players, you feel like more important, you know, to play volleyball in this country, and it's like the communication between the club, the TV, websites, you know, it's stronger here. So for this is I think one of the best countries to play volleyball in the world is for sure it's in Poland. I put in the order like 1, 2, 3. One for me is Toniuti. He's for me in the quality of setters and his skills. It's the most regular, and I like really his trajectory of sets, and also in the mind he's really strong. Even because he's not so tall, so I appreciate a little bit more. After Bruno, it's Rezende, it's for me the second one because he is a really complete setter, like serves, block, defense, and also I like his mentality. And the third one depends of the championship, but yeah, I appreciate also the Italian setter. He's a tall guy. You know, it's Gianelli. He's very young yet. He can play, I don't know, for 4 or 5 Olympic games. We'll see. So he has a big talent, and I like his also mentality and approach in the match. For me, you know, when I think about my career and what I try to improve year by year, day by day, it's like the skills. Yeah, I have a lot of skills to help your partner, you know, because you change a lot of players. You play with different kind of players, so you need all the time know which kind of ball they like. So you need, you know, improve your skills all the time, and even your discipline, and also your mentality, you know, your spirit of team, and to fight for each ball, give example, because yes, we have a lot of responsibility during the game. So you need to manage even sports problems, but even, you know, like a group's problem or psychological problem. So you need to be strong in all part of the game, even in the dressing room, you know, in the outside of the court. So it's like a second coach in the court. So I like this job because it's very interesting, never boring. It's all the time good challenge, new people to meet, and improve with them. I think it's, you know, the big experience of the setter is like this communication you can do with your players, and there's nothing more. But it's like the lifestyle. It's almost the same outside of the court like you are in the court. So if you are you need to open your mind for new things all the time, to have the spirit of team, and try to step by step to to push the other players in the same way like you, but more or less like this. Yeah, in volleyball I think about it's even if I'm really concentrating in the present, because we never know what's happening in the future, and I want to enjoy this time here in Rzeszów 100% and do my maximum to get you know, this possible gold medal. But yeah, I have some ideas to the future, and I hope volleyball gives me the opportunity to me to stay in the same passion and do what I love. We'll see. I hope to play, even if I'm a little bit older, play for some years more, and you'll see if my healthy stay good. If I'm staying in good shape, I hope to play for some years. So you'll see.